Alright guys, time for the strength teams against Heavenly Demon 1. The new units this time, the first team we have is with Rocks Pirates, and their captain, their utility is to remove damage reduction, but there is no damage reduction in this quest. But still they are a good captain, they provide really good damage, and that's what's important. In our team we have a new Kuma rare recruit, King rare recruit, Neko and Don Krieg and Gin. Don Krieg and Gin are amazing for this quest. In the first stage, we just have to kill the enemies with the same color as ours. So we're gonna kill the strength enemy and the quick enemy because Don Krieg and Gin is in their quick form right now. In stage 2 we're inflicted with 7 turns of despair and delay immunity. For despair we're gonna launch our Nekomamushi special. Also switch Don Krieg and Gin every turn. Not really required, but you get a matching slot on them, so that helps, right? We're going to use our Nekomamushi special. He removes 4 turns of despair and special bind and gives us a 0.8 chain boost. So with that 0.8 chain boost we'll have all the damage we need. Just tap your perfects and we'll get through this stage no problem. On stage 3 we are inflicted with 3 turns of paralysis and Rebecca has 3 turns of defense up. Don Krieg and Gin is amazing for this because they remove both paralysis and defense up. So Don Krieg and Gin are great. You're probably gonna see them in the quick versions of the team as well. They also give a 2 times orb boost if the opponent has a delay immunity, which makes them even better. Now we do have opposite color affinity, that is because we are strength, they do not very effective damage to quick units. But because we have Don Krieg and Gin, they are normal damage, so it allows us to get through the Rebecca. In this stage we just have to deal damage. If we allow them to hit us, they hit very hard, so try to defeat the enemies with a 1 turn cooldown. If you knock them down to low health without killing them, a lot of them have different effects, such as one of them slot binds your crew for 10 turns, so you don't want that. So we just hit their damage. Now for stage 5 we are inflicted with 7 turns of despair and Bartolomeo has a 20 hit barrier for 2 turns. To get around the despair we're going to use King's special ability. King removes 5 turns of despair and he also gives us a 2.25 times attack boost if our captain is driven or powerhouse, and the Rocks Pirates are a powerhouse captain. While they do primarily focus on striker, them being powerhouse also helps a lot. By the way, we don't actually need Rox's EX super here, that's why we haven't fulfilled the conditions to require it, it's just not important. Moving on to stage 6, our target is locked to treble. He also inflicts us with 3 turns of paralysis and the units behind him deal a lot of damage and have high defense. We're gonna switch to Don Krieg and Gin. They give us a small damage reduction, and then we're going to launch Kuma special. Kuma is a really good rare recruit. He is very new though. You can replace him with any rare recruit that deals with paralysis. So he removes 3 turns of paralysis, also deals a lot of damage that gets rid of the units at the back, heals our crew and gives us a chain lock. Moving on to the final stage, Dofi doesn't really do much. He just removes our beneficial effects and has delay immunity. But there are a lot of units with him, which makes it slightly annoying to deal with everyone. The units at the back which have high defense, so they are difficult to take out. So it's important to get those and Doflamingo first. We're going to launch Rocks Pirates action special. It's not important to perform the action special, you can just skip it, it will be enough damage anyways. But you can perform it if you just want more damage. After we launch the first Rocks Pirate special, we launch the other one to give us a set target status, which gives us an even more damage. Once we have set target status, that massive orb boost and a full board of orbs, we'll have enough damage to deal with this final boss stage. So the second strength team I have for you guys today is being led by Anniversary Legend exclusive S-Snake. All of the Seraphim and Lunarians in OPTC have a unique ability to resist a bunch of debuffs on themselves, including Despair, Special Bind, Paralysis, Bind, etc. Because we have double S-Snake as captain, they both completely resist Despair on themselves, which makes this crew immune to Despair. As we are inflicted with the Despair twice on this quest, it makes it very useful for this quest. On the first turn, we just have to knock out the enemy with the same typing as us. On the second turn, the Despair is completely removed by S-Snake, and with Carrot and the Sulong's switch effect, we get a matching slot and a 1.5 times orb boost, which means we can deal with the stage easily. The third stage, we launch Luffy's special that gets rid of 5 turns of paralysis and gives us a 0.8 chain boost. Then we launch S-Snake's special, which reduces 7 turns of defense up, another reason why she's good for this quest. It also gives us a 3 times orb boost. We do want to make sure that we launch this before switching Carrot and the Sulongs, because they also give us an orb boost that is not overwritable. So we launch S-Snake's special first. Luffy's special also locks our orbs, which is useful for the next stage. On stage 4, we just have to deal enough damage, and with the chain boost from Luffy and orb boost from S-Snake from the last stage, we can get through it no problem and not lose any health. We do need the super swap of Carrot and the Sulongs for the next stage against Bartolomeo, so if necessary then stall on this stage to get their super swap up. Against Bartolomeo, he inflicts us with 7 turns of Despair again, which is completely resisted, and a 20 hit 2 turn barrier. We have to super swap with Carrot and the Sulongs. This gives us a 2 times orb boost and a Wano slot on them. With this Wano slot, they'll be the hardest hitter on our team, so we want to make sure that we get through the barrier completely before that. We just tap with all of our units, and with Carrot and the Sulongs, they'll be able to deal the finishing blow. Against Rebel, he'll inflict us with paralysis and lock target, and the lackeys on the back row deal a lot of damage. However, we can survive it even if all 3 of them attack us. We use Helmeppo's special to get rid of the paralysis. It also gives us a chain boost. With Carrot and the Sulong swap effect, the orb boost, the tap timing boost from S-Snake's captain ability, and the chain boost, we are able to take down Rebel. If we have more matching orbs, then we'll be able to take down the lackeys in the back as well. But Rebel is guaranteed. Even if all 3 of them survive, we'll take a lot of damage, but we will be able to survive. On the next turn, we can just kill them easily. On the final turn against Doflamingo, all we need is damage, so we launch all of our specials. First, we launch Christmas Uta special. She gives us a full board of rainbow orbs and gives us a chain boundary. Next, we don't want to switch Carrot and the Sulongs, even if it gives us another type, because it gives us a 1.5 times orb boost that is not overwritable. So we have to use their special effect. Their special effect gives us a chain boost. That will help for the damage as well. Finally, we launch S-Snake special. This will not only give us a massive orb boost, but it will also inflict Love status on all enemies. Love status means that they cannot take any action until that number of combo hits are generated. In S-Snake's case, those are 8 combo hits. So until we hit them twice, they will not be able to perform any action, which means we are safe from them attacking us. This means we can focus on Doflamingo and the high HP units or high defense units without having to fear the attack from the low HP units. With all of these effects, we have more than enough damage to completely get rid of Doflamingo. The final team I have for you guys today is with Years Luffy. Years Luffy is a very gimmicky captain where he can change gears based on the number of super effects on the crew. I have paired him up with friend captain Nami and Karina just to get the requirements for his EX super, in which 3 of the straw hats are required. So we have Nami Karina friend captain, Nami Karina sub, and a rare recruit Zoro. We also have rare recruit Kobe and Strusen, but they can be easily replaced. On the first turn, we just need to take care of the enemies which have the type same as ours. So strength for our crew and quick for the Karina. On the second turn, we are inflicted with 7 turns of despair. To get rid of this, we are going to launch Strusen's special, who gets rid of 5 turns of despair. We can also switch with our Nami and Karina every turn to give us 5 matching orbs, or G slots, which they treat as matching. Before moving on to the next stage, we do need to launch Luffy's EX super. Not for the damage, but for him to switch into his Gear 4 Snake Man form, because he needs 3 super effects for that to happen. With his EX super, he gives us a Strength super type, Free Spirit super class, and Fighter super class, which gives us 3 super effects and transforms him into Snake Man, from which he resists 10 turns of paralysis as the captain. This means that once we move on to the next stage, in which Rebecca inflicts us with 3 turns of paralysis and gives herself 3 turns of defense up, our captain Luffy gets rid of the paralysis completely. Karina's special gets rid of 7 turns of defense up, so we can use that after we switch with both of them to get rid of the defense up and have enough damage to deal with Rebecca. Next stage, stage 4, we just have to deal damage, and with Nami and Karina's matching slot as well as their base attack boost, they give us a bunch of damage. This means that we can easily get through this stage, though not in one turn, but without taking any damage. Only if you are extremely unlucky and all of the enemies have only a 1 turn cooldown, but even still, you should be able to survive it no problem. While this Years Luffy is very gimmicky, he can be very powerful and he gives really powerful captain effects. And Nami and Karina, of course, is one of the best characters in the game, which is what makes this team so viable. On stage 5, we inflict with 7 turns of despair and a 20 hit 2 turn barrier. Nami, from Nami and Karina, removes 2 turns of barriers, so we're going to use her special to get rid of the barrier. Kobe also gets rid of 5 turns of despair, which is why we're using. The Kobe and Strusen are easily replaceable with any strength character that gets rid of despair, because both of our captains are rainbow captains, which means they boost everyone. The only requirement is for them to be strength to fulfill the Chopper Man mission. Once we use Nami's special and we get rid of the barrier, we have easily enough damage to kill Bartolomeo. Stage 6, we are inflicted with 3 turns of paralysis, which Luffy removes. Because we are going to use Luffy as our damage dealing special in the final turn, we need some damage for this turn, so we use Zoro's special. Zoro can also be replaced with any straw hat that gives us an adequate amount of damage. Zoro gives us a chain boost and also gives us a chain boundary. This means that we can easily deal with Rebel. Though not killing all of his lackeys, we have enough health to survive the damage they deal. To the final stage, all we need is just damage. Nami and Karina's super switch gives us matching orbs and a big base attack boost. Luffy's special does massive damage, which gets rid of almost all of the characters in this final stage, except for Doflamingo. He also inflicts a massive increased damage taken on the enemy and sets a fighter territory on the opponent's side, which gives us so much overkill damage. This team is not low on damage and it can easily get through this content. That's all the teams I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, be sure to ask them in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to answer every single one of them. Subscribe for more Treasure Cruise content. Thank you.